So the tip of the iceberg. So what do you know when you see an iceberg? Well, if you're in the waters in the ocean and you see an iceberg, know that you're only seeing the tip of the iceberg. What that means in that context is that underneath what you see, underneath the water, the ocean, is a gigantic iceberg. So it's almost like a mountain, a floating mountain, but you're only seeing the tip of the mountain. So it looks small, but underneath the ocean, it's like this gigantic, beast. So I noticed this is a really good analogy for the mind. When you have an energy experience, when you have small possession or whatever, what have you, um, that's just a tip of the iceberg. So that's cool to know because within knowing that, then you can, okay, well, I'm going to stop now, breathe, and let go of this point because I know that there's a whole system, a whole set of things and structures and thoughts and patterns that I haven't seen yet, I haven't investigated, and I know it's supporting it. So any reason or excuse to keep participating in it is not valid. And so I let this whole point go. So for me personally, I've only done that. Well, this is like a recent thing within looking deeply under one point, and I looked at all the deeper dimensions and all the interconnections and all that, and within realizing that okay, well, whenever I work with a new system or a new experience comes up, that I'm only seeing the surface of it. I'm only seeing the top layer, and so within that, I make the conscious choice. Okay, well, I'm actually gonna stop and change this moment, not participate within it, breathe and let it go, and just change and be the correction. Change and if I have a commitment, let's say a schedule, I stick with my schedule, not participate within that mind point. So that has to do with, like I said, the tip of the iceberg, and I remind myself at that point that what I'm seeing is only the surface layer, and that's helpful. And like let's say before, I would maybe like participate within it because, well, it doesn't seem that much, or well, I don't know what's really going on underneath, as if maybe there could be some reason, justification for that. But like I said, after I went deeper into this one point, I realized that all I really have is um, harmful points and harmful points for life, and it's producing this behavior which is harmful, whether it be whatever it be, even a slight fear, it's still harmful because you're being less than what you could be, you know. And when I looked at those little points, they were really actually big points, like an iceberg. On the surface, it looks small, but when you look into them and investigate them, they're actually pretty big. And there's lots of thoughts connected and lots of excuses and judgments and reasons, which actually then pop up in other parts of my life. So it really is like an iceberg. You know, it's exactly like that. It's a really good analogy, and that's why I'm using that personally to remind myself. And so that's why I'm sharing this vlog on that. Because I find it's going to probably save me a lot of time, a lot of stress, a lot of worry, and it can probably change faster then. And yeah. So here's another cool thing to try for yourselves, and maybe necessary for you to look for yourself, investigate an iceberg to really get the point. But if you're able to understand it, then that's great, and you can start applying it. And yeah, so definitely better to prevent, to prevent all this kind of time wasted in hardship and just not a cool experience. Feeling even like the slightest fear is not cool. And really just to let that go is such a relief. And if you're someone listening to my video for the first time, I suggest investigate Destiny, investigate my videos, investigate Desteni.org, look at the other channels about from all the other people like me doing this. We're doing Journey to Life blogs. Check that out. All information is there. It's readily accessible. All it takes is your curiosity. So I'll see you, everyone. Bye.